report has it that about 200 million females or women are mutilated globally. And out of these, 20 million are Nigerians.
You agree with me that we are in a lawless society, that everybody gets away with whatever they want to do?
Abinda yana cewa wai kudan arewa yana cewa wai a cikin littafin nan
maka ndị na-ege anyị ntị n'ụbọchị tata ihe dọkịta na-ekwu maka ya bụ FGM, Female Genital Mutilation.
Hi guys, welcome back to my vlog. We're here to do a radio discussion. Host with the most. Please, this. So you guys should stay tuned.
Now, our special program based on female genital mutilation is what you'll be having the pleasure to listen to at the moment. Dear listener at home, please stay tuned and enjoy it and try as much as possible to learn some lessons. And here, Akashi eto fifo pèsè dídábẹ́ fún ọmọbìnrin ọ̀nà ni yóò máa gun orí àtẹ́gùn báyìí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń gbọ́ ní èdè Yorùbá lẹ́mọ̀ gbọ́ ní èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì lẹ́mọ̀ gbọ́ ní èdè Haúsá tó ń ti èdè ẹ̀yà àti Ìgbò. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n máa fà yín lé Tẹ́ní àti Annabel lọ́wọ́ bí wọ́n ṣe máa tukọ̀ ètò náà. Tẹ́ní, Annabel, if you should come around.
The different tribe who will translating this program to you. We have the Hausa, we have the Yoruba, and we have the Igbo.
Alright. At this point, we are joined by one of our very own, all the way from Bowen University. He's a consultant from the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology. And this morning we are going to be tapping for his well of knowledge. And there's going to be time for us to receive your responses, questions, comments, and the number would be 090. We're going to be calling it again. So right about now, I'd like to invite Dr. Bobo for this discussion on female genital mutilation. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Alright, sir. This morning we are going to be taking it right from the very bottom all the way to the top, sir. So the first question is, what does female genital mutilation mean?
Thank you for the question. It's a public health problem, and the United Nations set aside every 6th of the year as International Day for zero tolerance to female genital mutilation. And the theme for this year is accelerating investment to end the female genital mutilation. By the way of definition, just to put it in a layman term, female genital mutilation can be described as any form of imposed cutting on the female external genitalia that is for socio-cultural reasons that are not medical. And then it is a condition or problem that is associated with significant. A brief definition of what female genital mutilation is all about.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Our next question is female genital mutilation harmful? And if it is, why do people still do it?
Oh, okay. Well, as I said earlier, that it is a harmful practice. It is primitive and it's unpleasant. And as I said earlier, that it is associated with serious significant or consequences. The report has it that about 200 million females or women are mutilated globally. And out of these, 20 million are Nigerians. And the implication of that statistics is that for every 10 mutilated women, one of them is a Nigerian. And back to our state, or your state, a record in 2013 put the prevalence rate at about 66.1%. To advance for why this practice is still being done in our environment. And commonly, they talked about suppressing the sexual passion of a lady or of a young girl, women, and then with the aim that that will help them to preserve their virginity prevent them from promiscuity, and then at the end of the day enhance their fertility rate, maybe by the time when they start procreation. However, it has been found that this in no way it is of non-medical of health benefit to them. And there are other reasons that have been put forward to explain why this thing is being practiced. It depends on the communities. It could be as a result of maybe tribal traditional practice. It could be on religious ground. It could even be on the ground of modification of socio-cultural attitude of the women folks in our environment. And then so also it could also be as a form of legalism, has also been advanced for the reason why this traditional practice is still being carried out, because it is seen that it can serve as a right to inheritance at the family setting. So these are some of the reasons why it is still being practiced in our environment today.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for highlighting some certain misconceptions about this. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to call in when the time is right. So right now, sir, I would like to know, what are the consequences of female genital mutilation on girls and women in our society? Okay,
the consequences of female genital mutilation, as I said, is of widespread, and then it ranges from social implication, the economic, even medical impact. It could as well be associated with the psychological problems. And then, as you all know, that most of the time this practice is being carried out by traditional practitioners. A good number of them, they have rudimentary training or maybe knowledge about how the procedure should be done. And then by the time when they do it, complication could arise, and then this could be in terms of immediate complication. It could be medium-term or long-term complication. And among the problems that could be associated with it include pain. The young ladies, they are forced to carry out the procedure without their consent. So they can suffer from pain, they can hemorrhage, as in excessive bleeding can occur, and then infection can also follow. And then so also in the long run, a good number of them, they develop psychological problems, and this could be as a result of maybe betrayal from their parents. The aspect of not being loss of sense of ownership of their body. This could in a way affect their mind, and then they can come down with a good number of them, they can develop anxiety, they can have depression, they can even develop a suicidal tendency in the long run. So these are some of the consequences that can follow this procedure when carried on the young ladies.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for throwing more light on that. Our next question is, do the rights and position of women in society exacerbate this problem?
Okay, thank you for the question. Well, we agree with me that the society we are is a patriarchal society, whereby the supremacy of men cannot be questioned, and then the power, the influence, and even importance at the home front is being controlled by the men. So the decision of the men it can go a long way to affect the health of the women. So by so doing, and we all know that the issue of gender inequality is also has been found to be one of the leading cause of female genital mutilation in our environment. Women are being forced to carry out the procedure. The men see it as a form of maybe they see it as being in form of conformity with the social norms, and then so also they see it being in line with their community identity. So they continue the practice, and then without taking into cognizance the problem that the women that are the victims are suffering from this procedure. And then the gender equity, women empowerment have been said to be very instrumental in reducing this problem in our environment. As women who are well educated about this procedure, they will be able to take control over decisions, even factors that can shape their life, and then in a way they can stand against this practice when they are well informed and educated about the consequences that will follow it.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, you agree with me that we are in a lawless society, that everybody gets away with whatever they want to do. So at this point, I'd like to know that are there some things that can be done to achieve zero tolerance to everything that we've highlighted this morning?
Okay, well, different over time, as I said earlier, that though the prevalence has reduced in our environment, but it's still high, and the different effort has been put together in the past to ensure eradication, or if possible, to ensure reduction, and then if possible eradication of this practice. And the fact that we are here today to educate the people at home is one of the measures that can be taken. Health education and promotion. Advocacy can also be done, and then even training of medical practitioners. As we all know that some medical practitioners also carry out this procedure. So educating them, letting them to know the implications will help in a way to reduce or if possible eradicate this practice in our environment. And then so also other things that have been talked about, they include the legal measures. Over time, there are different laws that have been put in place, either by the federal government or by the state government. Take for instance in Oyo State, in 2006 there was child rights law, and there has a provision for a term of imprisonment, even fine for whosoever that practice female genital mutilation. And so also in 2016 they came up with violence against women law in 2016. I think maybe section 9 of it also have provision on the prohibition of female genital mutilation, and then with a term of imprisonment of about maybe at least or not exceeding 4 years, and fine of about 200,000. But the major challenge with this is that enforcement of this law has been very poor, and then even up to now, I'm not aware if there's any conviction that has been made so far, despite the fact that this law is in place. And then the other thing that have been measures that have been put in place to reduce it, as I said earlier, health education is of importance. People need to know the extent of these problems, and then the impact on our people, and then so also they should be able to take this women empowerment. They should be able, with women empowerment, either maybe socially, politically, or economically, they will be able to have control over their own life. They can take decisions that can be beneficial to their own life later in life. So there are so many measures that have been put in place that can help to reduce and, if possible, eradicate this practice in our environment. But it is of importance that health education at the community level, stakeholders like religious leaders, traditional leaders, they have to be well educated and informed. Even the people that carry out the practice, the traditional practitioners also, they are also important. Profiling them can be done in such a way that since a good number of them see it as a means of income, they can be given incentive so that this will prevent them from carrying out this procedure and then in a way save the life of our women. So these are the measures that can be put in place to reduce the practice of female genital mutilation.
Thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate you. Thank you for all the knowledge that you have given us this morning. It was indeed power-packed. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are still listening to us at this point, you are the real MVP. So just before we go, I'm going to read out the number again in case you want to ask any question. 09055355558. My name is still Teniola, and I'm still co-hosting with
Annabelle. And right now we'll go to our interpreters. First of all, we'll be having the Yoruba to tell us in her language just a brief summary.
Ẹ ṣé o gbogbo ẹ̀yin ará ilé, wọ́n lè ti gbọ́ lẹ́nu akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ oníṣègùn òyìnbó wa wípé kò dáa kí a máa dábẹ́ fún àwọn ọmọbìnrin wa. Oríṣiríṣi ìjàmbá ni ẹ ṣe fún àwọn ọmọbìnrin tí ẹ bá ń dábẹ́ fún. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ dábẹ́ fún àwọn ọmọkùnrin yín, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ọmọbìnrin ẹ kó wọn sí oríṣiríṣi ìjàmbá tí ó lè má ṣe wọ́n nísìn, àmọ́ ní ọjọ́ iwájú oríṣiríṣi nǹkan ló máa lè ṣẹlẹ̀ sí àwọn obìnrin. A dẹ̀ ń sọ fún yín bí wọ́n ṣe sọ wípé ẹ kó wọn sí ìjàmbá bí ìkọlù, ó lè fa ìkọlù fún wọn, oríṣiríṣi ló lè ṣe wọn, ó lè fa kí kọ́ má lè fẹ́ ṣe ìbálòpọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ. A máa rí pé èmi inú wọn wá délé ọkọ tán wọn nífẹ̀ẹ́ ṣe ìbálòpọ̀, èmi inú wọn tí ẹ nílé gbàgbé, ó ń jẹ́ kí àyà wọn já. Ẹ mọ̀ pé kí a kàn mú àwọn ọmọbìnrin wa ká dẹ̀ gbé ọ̀bẹ blade oríṣiríṣi nǹkan ká máa fi tán wọn ní ojú ara, kò yẹ kí a ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ fún àwọn ọmọbìnrin. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fi wọ́n sílẹ̀. Tó bá jẹ́ pé tí wọ́n ṣe sọ wọ́n ní ìdí oríṣiríṣi ìdí ni àwọn èèyàn ṣe máa ń dábẹ́, bíi pé ẹ fẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ kọ́ máa ya ìyàkuyà, kọ́ máa lè máa bá àwọn ọmọkùnrin sùn, so that tá bá ti pa tá bá ti pa abẹ́ wọn dé wọn nílé bá àwọn ọmọkùnrin sùn. Ṣùgbọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká bá àwọn ọmọbìnrin wa sọ̀rọ̀ bí wọ́n bá ṣe ń dàgbà. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ fún wọn bí wọ́n ṣe lè ṣe tó jẹ́ pé wọn ò ṣe ní ṣe ìṣekúṣe, wọn ní bá ọkùnrin ní àjọṣepọ̀ wípé ó dìgbà tó bá délé ọkọ, kò kí ṣe pé ká mú blade ká tán wọn, ká gé wọn lóríṣiríṣi. Ìmí inú wọn gan ó ń fa ara ríro, ó ń fa pain, ó ń fa ara ríro fún wọn. So ẹ jẹ́ ká fi wọ́n lẹ̀. Ó jẹ́ nǹkan tí ìjọba ń sọ nísìn. Oríṣiríṣi nǹkan la dẹ̀ ti fi kalẹ̀, oríṣiríṣi àti gbé oríṣiríṣi nǹkan kalẹ̀ pé ẹni tó bá ń ṣe ìdábẹ́, tó bá mọ ẹnìkan ní ibi tẹ́ ń gbé, oríṣiríṣi àwọn èèyàn la rí tán ní ibi tán ti ń ṣe gbogbo, kì í ṣe pé àwọn ilé wọn jẹ́ akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ oníṣègùn òyìnbó. Ibikíbi tẹ́ bá ti rí wọn, ẹ jẹ́ ká bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀. Òun la ṣe wá sọ fún yín nípa ilé ni. Tẹ́ bá mọ ẹnìkan, ẹ sọ fún ara ilé yín, ẹ sọ fún àwọn tẹ́ jọ ń gbé wípé dídábẹ́ fún àwọn ọmọbìnrin wa kò yẹ, ó ń fa oríṣiríṣi ìjàmbá sí àgọ́ ara àwọn ọmọbìnrin. Ẹ ṣé gan, a lérò pé gbogbo nǹkan tá a sọ yìí ló ti yé yín. Tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ ní ìbéèrè, ẹ lè pè wá, á dá yín lóhùn. Ẹ ṣé gan.
Thank you very much. And I'll be here.
Ina kwanan ku in kuna ji abinda likita yana cewa wai kudan arewa yana cewa wai a cikin littafin nan yana cewa wai shi yana gaya muku wai wannan ranan an sa wannan ranan dan yankan na jaririn na mace. So in ana so a yi yankan na jaririn na mace, abun dama ana yi a cikin littafin ku wai abun yana da kyau, amma yau likita yana cewa wai abun bai da kyau. So ya sa wannan a cikin littafin shi, ya zo ya ce muku wai a wannan ranan wai a sa ba a dina wannan yankan na jariri na mace, kuma in ba dina ba gaskiya in na mace in ta yi girma haka abun zai sa mata wani kamar ciwo haka, kuma in wannan ciwo ya samu ba wai wani kamar aiki da za a iya yi na mace a zo wai kamar a zo a sa abun ya zo ya fita. Kuma abun da likita ya ce kuma shine wai a wannan ranar an sa wai su na mace, dan in an sa dan yankan na mace haka a je a sa wai a dai a bari, kuma in ba bari ba gaskiya abun ba zai yi kyau ba. Kuma shi ma ya zo ya ce wai in kuna da tambaya, in akwai wani tambaya ko wani labari da ba ku magantu ba, wai a zo a sa a gaya mana a wannan sa muku ko mu gaya muku, ko kuma ku zo ku koyar daga wannan likita a wannan kaman abun da an kawo muku haka. To ku dan arewa in kuna ji wai ya ce za ku iya kira, in ba ku kira ba to ba komai, amma in kuna so ku kira za ku iya kira. So likita yana nan yana zaune, zai gaya muku, zai bayanar muku ko wani abu da zai faru in wannan abun bai dina ba. To na gaishe ku.
Thank you. And now to the Eagles.
Daalụ maka ndị na-ege anyị ntị. N'ụbọchị tata, ihe dọkịta na-ekwu maka ya bụ FGM, Female Genital Mutilation. Ọ bụ ibi ugwu nke nwaanyị. Anyị ma na ọ bụ omenala anyị, mana ọ bụghị ihe dị mma. Ihe anyị na-ekwu tata bụ na ọ bụghị ezigbo omume. Anyị kwesịrị ịkwụsị ya. Ya mere anyị na-agwa ndị na-eme ya na ndị anụbeghị maka ya ka ha biko kwụsịkwa ihe a, maka ọ bụghị ihe dị mma.
Thank you. Thank you for listening. We'll be expecting your questions, comments, or contributions. Once again, the number to call is 090.
Yeah, right. But I could have prefer you to talk directly to us. Pẹ̀lú Yorùbá Lọ́dà wò ní òbí tí òbí mọ̀ àwọn yẹn là ń ṣe irú ẹ̀. Nítorí náà tó bá di jọ́ mi, ẹ máa fi àsìkò tó pọ̀ fún èdè agbègbè láti fi dá wa lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Ẹ kú ṣe olúwo máa tẹ̀yìn síwájú.
Àmì máa ẹ ṣeun gan ma, a máa mójútó nígbà míì.
Alright, thank you very much for listening to us today. We are really grateful for you tuning in and listening to us. I hope that we have learned one or two things. Female genital mutilation is not right, it is not good, it is harmful, dangerous now and even in the future. We are grateful for you listening to us once again, and at this point I think we'll be signing out. Thank you so much. My name is Teniola, and with me has been
Annabelle.
Alright, have a wonderful day.